What's up everybody, Kai here, and welcome to the newest series that I'm going to be starting called Tutorial Tuesdays, where every Tuesday I will be uploading a tutorial. Um, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be starting with the basics of the programs, different programs that I feel like teaching how to use, and we're going to start from there and we're going to work our way up, and hopefully by the end you'll have an awesome YouTube channel with everything customized, and you'll be ready to just enjoy having fun on YouTube. So I'm really going to try and keep this super basic so that anybody can come in, watch the tutorials, and fully understand it. And along with that, I'm going to let anybody post comments or private message me on any of my contact sources. And if you have any questions, just do it through those methods, and I will be able to help you out. So this first episode is going to be, we're going to be starting with Photoshop, and I'm going to be using Adobe Photoshop CS6. I'm going to try not to use any features that are specific to CS6. That way you can still do this stuff in an older version of Photoshop if that's what you have. But this first video is really just going to be going over the basics. We're going to create all of the file types we're going to be using throughout the series, and I'm going to explain a little bit about some of the features we're going to be using and what we'll be doing in the rest of the series. Yeah, let's go ahead and get started. The first thing you're going to want to do is, since this really is a YouTube series, is you're going to want to go ahead and create your email. You're going to want to create your Twitter, and you're going to want to create your YouTube channel for your whatever you wanted to do. You know, like I'm going to be doing tutorials, and I'm going to create a channel specifically for the tutorials. I'll be uploading them on my main channel as well, but since this is going to be an example series, it'll be really nice to be able to have a channel where you get to actually see all of the examples being used. And as they evolve, you'll get to see the channel itself evolve, like it's a work in progress type thing, to really help you guys out. So the first file you're going to create is going to be a file we're going to be using a lot. This is going to be where you're going to be creating your logo, depending on what type of logo you want. We'll go over all of that in a later episode. But go ahead and hit new, and then what I like to do is I like to do it 1,000 by 1,000 pixels for my logo files and my avatar files. It's a little overkill on size, but it's going to guarantee that your avatar is going to look clean and clear. If you find that the avatars you design in a file if you find that the avatars that you're designing in that file are too large, you may want to cut it down to 800 by 800 pixels, but I usually stick with about 1,000. Your resolution is going to want to be at 72 pixels per inch because we're designing for web with the avatars. I will be going into designing for print as well for t-shirts. But for now, this avatar file is pretty good. You're going to want to have it on RGB color, again, because we are designing for web. And go ahead and leave the background as just white. And this is going to be your basic avatar file. And the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to your YouTube that you created, and I'll be going to that later on. So you go to here, and then what you're going to do is actually you're just going to hit this little edit button right here and hit edit channel art. When this comes up, click on how to create channel art. Then what you're going to do, go ahead and scroll down, and it says you can download the template here. Go to channel art template and download the fireworks version because it's just an image, and then go ahead and drag that into Photoshop. And Photoshop, and drag it onto this little bar up here so that you can create a new page. And this is already going to have the mode set to RGB, and it's already going to be the correct size and everything. As you can see, this is already pretty much set up so that you can use it for YouTube. It's going to save you a lot of time, and it's a lot faster than having to download a template from somebody, because from here, it's going to be really easy to create your own template, and we'll be going over that in another episode as well. But the next file type you're going to need is for your Twitter. You're going to want to go ahead and go to Twitter and go onto your file, and then what you want to do is go into your settings and hit edit profile, and then as you see, the dimensions are 1252 by 626. So you want to go back into Photoshop, hit a new file, and you're going to go 1252 by 626. Still same thing, 72 pixels per inch with RGB color and a white background. And this is going to be your Twitter header. And you're going to go back into Twitter. I have so much stuff open right now, I can't find it. Okay, so go back to Twitter and go back to your main profile page. And then what you can do is, there's a ton of programs you can use for this. I personally use Gyazo. You can go ahead and go to gyazo.com, and here we go. And you can just go ahead and download it. It's for free. It's a really easy screen capture program, and it works really well for showing off stuff quickly to your friends. And once you've installed it, go ahead and just click on it, and it gives you this little crosshair where you can click and select stuff. You're going to want to select this little gray box. And again, this is just how I do it. It doesn't mean that this is the only way to do this, but this is just how I found that I like to do it, and it didn't seem to work. Let's try it again. So just go ahead and select that entire gray area, which is the header itself. That's about the space of the header, and it doesn't look like Gyazo is working right now, but good thing is that I did already do that. As you can see, it's right here, just the little bit of the gray box. And this is just a rough estimate. You're going to drag it into your Twitter header file, and then you're going to go ahead and you see it's placed in here. Go ahead and hold Shift and Alt on PC and click on the corner and just drag it out until it just lines up with everything. So as you can see, everything kind of lines up. Go ahead and make it a little bit bigger. You're going to want to go Edit, Free Transform, or Control T on PC. Hold Shift Alt again and click on the corner and just drag it out. That's too much, just a little bit. Let me see it. There we go. I can't get it just right. There we go. That will be close enough for the purposes of this tutorial. And what this is going to do is it's going to allow you to build your template so that you can design your background custom to the text that you actually have in your Twitter. And we'll go over that more again when we're designing specifically the Twitter background. But this is going to make it a lot easier to make sure that your background looks really nice on Twitter, and it lines up with your profile picture. And again, let's see. I think that's pretty good for Twitter, and then you have your YouTube, and then your avatar file. And we'll be saving these in a moment. The next things you're going to need is you're going to want to go File, New, and you're going to create your next file. You're going to go 1280 for the width and 720 for the height. 72 pixels per inch with RGB color and a white background. And this is going to be for your thumbnail. Because the thumbnail is so small, you don't really need to have it in a higher resolution than 1280 by 720, because you don't want to go over the file size limits for YouTube. I believe it's 2 megabytes for the thumbnails. So go ahead and just do 1280 by 720. It ends up being so small that even if it's not perfect quality, you're really not going to be able to tell. So it's going to be fine at this size. we're also going to use this file for your outro still, which we will be going over how to create. Um, the other file there's two other files we might end up using, so go ahead and create them as well just in case. One is the size that I use for my desktop backgrounds. So you're going to go to New, and then your width is going to be 1920 by 1080 with 72 pixels per inch with RGB color and white again. And I use this for my desktop background size because it is 1080p HD, super high quality, and you never have to worry about if your desktop background is too high of a quality or file size, because you want your desktop background to look really good. And the last file we're going to go ahead and create is a file for a t-shirt design, which will probably be one of the last things we end up doing, but go ahead and create it right now too. Go ahead and go File, New. This is the size I usually use for my t-shirt designs, but you can of course make it bigger if you want. It all depends really on who you're working with and what program you're using and what their printer is, but in general, if you're going to be doing your t-shirt design in Photoshop, you can do it with this size and you might be able to work with it. So I usually use a width of 12 and a height of 16. And since you're doing print quality, you need to change your resolution to 300 DPI. And I just realized you want your width not to be 12 pixels, you want it to be 12 inches. So go ahead and do 12 inches by 16 inches because it's for a t-shirt. And your resolution needs to be higher because since it's print quality, the colors get worked with differently. So it's going to have to be a lot larger. And RGB is going to be for there are some RGB printers, but in general, you're going to want to go ahead with CMYK color, which is going to be like real color. It's not going to be your web colors. So that's pretty much going to be the last file that we're going to be needing for this tutorial series. Of course, if there's any other types of files you guys would like to see created, go ahead and just post it in the comments section and we'll go over them. So the last step in this tutorial is just going to be to go ahead and save everything. So make sure to create a folder for this whole project because you're going to need to make sure to keep track of everything. And this is the Tutorial Tuesday series, so this is going to be the TT logo. And then save as. Go ahead to wherever you have everything saved. This is going to be your TT YouTube banner. And then since it does have the PNG image in there that we imported, just go ahead and do the regular settings. Just hit OK. This is your Twitter one, so go to Save As and just go to TT Twitter. You could call it Twitter or you can call it the Twitter header, I believe is what it's called. And then you go to this. This file was your thumbnail, so go ahead and save it as your TT thumbnail. And then this is your background, so your TT background. And then your t-shirt design is last, TT shirt. And that's going to be the basic files that you're going to need for this whole series. And you're going to be ready to go in the next tutorial when we start to go over logo design and starting to get something that we can use for all of your social networking sites. So make sure to, before we get to the next tutorial, start thinking about how you want to brand your YouTube and making sure that your name matches what you want to represent yourself as. And we'll definitely go over that a lot more in the logo tutorial next Tuesday. So if you have any questions or comments, go ahead and post them in below or go ahead and send me a message and I will answer them pretty quickly because I'm usually always connected to the internet. So thank you again for watching. Leave a like if this is a series you're definitely going to be interested in, and I will see you guys next Tuesday.